Afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Edinburgh, Pyreegue Dev Co's fantastic Edinburgh Airport scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's available on Orbx, Sim Market, a few other places. And it's been a while, but we are back doing a FlyUK service for the first time in quite a few months actually. It's been far too long. But there's been a lot going on inside Microsoft Flight Simulator, a lot to enjoy. For those of you who've seen the channel community post that went on about an hour or so ago, I've had a really busy morning enjoying the upcoming Just Flight BA146 Professional, which is going to be released end of April roughly for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I've basically been doing a little test flight with that today and starting to record a preview video for you guys so you can see what to expect when the aircraft is released. Really exciting, and I've very much enjoyed this morning. Here we are, FlyUK's fantastic livery in the flybywire A32NX. We've got the latest experimental branch with VNAV as well, experimental VNAV I should say, so it might not work as expected. Let's dive straight in, stand 7, and we've got the APU and everything fired up. Fuel is on board, 8,500 kilograms, and we're pretty much full in the back with the punters. There's our V-speeds, and we've got our flight plan programmed in as well. So departing Edinburgh runway 24 now, and the TULSI 6 Charlie departure to TULSI. We need to get our
all stations, information Quebec now in effect.
ATIS information and all that sort of stuff as well. 1030, good stuff. It makes it easy for me. There's our departure for today. So if we have to turn back, we've got the ILS 1089, passing the NDB at Edinburgh 368, and then starting a left turn to intercept a radial of 345 inbound to the Talaviawa, up to 6,000 feet, and then away we go. Our routing today will take us out of the Scottish FIR, across the North Sea, into Amsterdam's FIR. We've got CPDL C-arm just in case we get any en route, and then you can see our flight is effectively going to take us over elements of Germany, bits of, in fact if we go down here, down to Bavaria, we go past Munich, there we go, and then over the mountains. We're expecting the westerly runway at Innsbruck, so potentially not a circle to land unless the weather does change. If you're new to the channel, a very warm welcome. Please do hit subscribe, and don't forget throughout today to hit the like button as well. Yoep, Michael, Wesley, Doctor on board, Paul Brown and Alberto, channel members, welcome. I hope you guys are all well. Hello stranger Paul, yes. How have you been? Busy I'm sure, but I hope you're okay, hope you're well. Who we got? Baccazato as well. Been creating some of the paint schemes for the X-Plane subscribers, so you can fly along with Osprey Airways should you wish to. We've got now liveries for the Zibo 737, the Flight Factor A350, which went live this morning, thanks to Baccazato. The Zibo was done by Tapsi, and then also Baccazato's painted the TULSI A340 POG, as some people would describe it. Right, let's get our clearance. METAR, EGPH, QNH 1030. Oh, we've got tower line. So Edinburgh Information Quebec, time 1250, runway news 24, transition level flight level 70, surface wind 040 at 6 knots. We've got a partial tailwind today for departure. Visibility of 8 kilometers, no significant cloud, temperatures plus 14 degrees, dew point plus 8, good spread, and QNH 1030. Ta-da! And then information Quebec, and we're at stand 7. Edinburgh ground, good afternoon, Skyways 908, stand 7, Airbus A320neo with Quebec, request IFR clearance to Innsbruck please.
Skyways 908, Edinburgh ground, hello, you are cleared to Innsbruck via the TULSI 6 Charlie departure, squawk 7015.
Cleared Innsbruck, TULSI 6 Charlie departure, squawk 7015, Skyways 908.
Skyways Skyways 908, read back correct, and don't forget your SkyTrack.
Ah, thank you. There was something. I knew there was something. Can always rely on David to remind me. That's why it's important to have these helpful controllers. Oh, we got Edinburgh Tower line as well, 118.7. Who in the live chat is excited for the Just Flight 146 Professional for MSFS? Beacon, actually, let's not put the beacon on just yet. We want to pre-plan our pushback. 24 is to our left-hand side as we're looking towards the terminal, so we want to make the nose face north. Right. Yoep's asking, what is the opinion on Concorde coming in a week? Cheap price is a concern of mine, but Concorde is a Concorde. It's a good question, isn't it?
Speedbird 550.
It's a tough one.
Can you report your stand number and aircraft type?
How detailed is it going to be? How complex is it going to be? It's hard to work that out, isn't it?
Speedbird 550.
That'll do.
You're clear
Nice
to
simple
Innsbruck via the
pushback.
6 Charlie departure. Squawk
In some ways, thank you very much.
7506.
I tried to keep it calm, even when stuff goes wrong. Oh, we've not got a tug.
Speedbird 550, read back
Should have
correct.
noticed that. Skyways 908, fully ready, request push and start.
Skyways 908, stand 7, push and start approved, face east.
Push start approved, face east, Skyways 908.
G'day, Edinburgh ground, hello, Speedbird 0 requesting Alpha clearance to...
So park brake, and then now there's a new feature where if it doesn't spawn properly, it automatically enables hold, which is nice. What that does is it prevents the aircraft zooming back real quick. There goes SkyTrack, Max, engine 2. Should we start the chrono today? It's been a long time since we've used it. Let's see how stable it is. Steve's looking forward to the DC3. Andy Glore, MDG 737 and the Concorde for him. Nice stuff. Hopefully I get to have a little look at both. DC Mole with a conspiracy.
Edinburgh, hello, Skyways 5563, Airbus A32NX VNAV, 6 information.
Let's turn the tablet off.
Requesting IFR clearance to Innsbruck.
Is that over there and the big one?
Skyways 5563, Edinburgh ground, hello, you are cleared to Innsbruck, Friday
Dot aircraft.
Charlie departure, squawk 5246.
Clear Innsbruck, Tower 6 Charlie departure.
Oddly enough, that isn't displaying at all on VATSIM.
Skyways 5563, read back correct and check your SkyTrack.
Oh, generic airliner. Easy 5020. How bizarre.
Thank you, on air and running, thanks.
Very good morning to you, Easy 18 Tango, hello, radio check please.
Is that Callum?
Easy 18 Tango, Edinburgh ground, readability 5. Speedbird 550, standby.
We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure we are ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened.
Wesley, initial climb 6,000. Oh, you know, I wish you'd use charts. It's been a year and a half I've been trying to get you to use some charts.
Easy 5 Juliet Mike request, push and start.
For your convenience, this aircraft has 3 restrooms, one in the front of the cabin.
Easy 5 Juliet Mike, stand 4, push stop approved.
We'll be adjusting the main cabin lights for departure.
Push and start approved. Yeah.
So, taxi-wise, we should expect Foxtrot, Alpha, hold Delta 1. And that's for runway 24. Let's get them flaps out.
Skyways 5563, request push and start.
Skyways 5563, standby.
Skyways 908, request taxi.
Skyways 908, taxi holding point Delta 1, runway 24 via Foxtrot and Alpha.
Taxi, hold point runway 24, Delta 1, via Foxtrot and Alpha, Skyways 908. Should know better there, because I got the sides of that slightly incorrect.
Speedbird 550, giving way to the FlyUK A320, passing right to left on Foxtrot, push start approve, face east.
Push start approved, face east, EasyJet 581 Tango.
That's not good for the Osprey. Mounted by a dirty Ryan airplane.
Skywise 5563, push start approved, face east.
Push start approved, face east.
Get a bit of wing icing on because, actually no, hold on. That was my earlier flight. I was thinking of fog.
Quebec, stand 11, request clearance to Innsbruck, please.
Bit of a break. David A, good morning.
Easy 5020, you are cleared to Innsbruck via the Tyler 6 Charlie departure, squawk 2047.
And yeah, the A330 is by headwind. It's a good start. It's made a good start initially, hasn't it? But yeah, it could be a lot better.
5020, be back correct.
Who knows? Perhaps it's something they can improve in the future. I know that they are promising an update soon.
Speedbird, sir, just to ask, what's the initial climb altitude?
Speedbird 0, climb by the SID.
Climb by SID, Speedbird, sir.
Charts.
Wesley, I did say 6,000. I did say. Who'd have thought charts would be useful? 1+F, that's all good, and let's go takeoff config. If you want the latest experimental branch, by the way, folks, of the flybywire A32NX, which has the TCAS, just get the installer from the website. That's green, and then install the experimental version. Oh yeah, what's the guesstimate for the 737? I'm going to say 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I think. Pyreegue Dev Co's Edinburgh, if you purchase it via Orbx, I think they're still doing a thing where if you purchase their scenery, because Pyreegue...
On to Edinburgh Tower 118.7, have a good flight.
Edinburgh Tower 118.7 for Skyways 908, thanks for the ATC.
Enjoy the stream.
Yeah, I think they're still doing a thing where if you purchase their scenery, the Pyreegue Dev Co scenery, whether it be Edinburgh, Glasgow, something like that, they put the money into a pot to assist the developer because he's based in Kiev, which is obviously going through a horrendous time at the moment. Edinburgh Tower, good afternoon, Skyways 908 on Delta, ready for departure.
Skyways 908, Edinburgh Tower, low 70840, 6 knots, runway 24, clear for takeoff.
Runway 24, clear takeoff, Skyways 908. Look at this. Let's get all of them on, and the strobes, done the ding-dongs. Let's line up.
Flight please prepare for takeoff.
Oh yes. So Mikhail's used, I did a flight to Athens today, used VNAV, worked fine, great to hear. Ashley, I know as well, one of our other channel members, for those of you watching in the background, has also made good use of VNAV and said it works very well. This is going to be a test for it because we're going to be using an approach into Innsbruck, which is quite tricky for the VNAV to actually deal with. So who knows? Anyway, get a bit of power in. Start the other chrono. 2 clicks, flex, SRS, runway. Speed's alive. Yeah, Ukrainians are holding on remarkably well, aren't they? They're such an incredible nation of people. 80 knots. Now we've centralised the stick. Bit of a crosswind, bit of a tailwind, which is the biggest concern because it extends our takeoff run a lot, as you can see. V1, almost at the end of the runway. Positive rate, gear up. And we're going through that sort of boggy inversion. There was, prior to the start of the stream today, an NVIDIA graphics card update.
127 Papa and Pyreegue afternoon service wind 04 degrees 6 knots from 84
Leave a climb.
Skyways 908 smashing Pelham on Unicom 122.8 Papa.
Monitor Unicom 122.8 for Skyways 908. Thanks for the ATC, have a good day. Okay, that's done. We can get rid of the chrono that we had started there for the initial departure. Pilot control, good morning, and away we go. Toga Yoga Bakasato. Now there's a new emoji. Left turn coming up. There's Edinburgh off through the haze. And is it the 4th bridge, whatever it's called? Where my geography embarrasses me a little bit here. Let's get the flaps in. And we can disarm the spoilers. I've got my sim locked to 36 frames per second. Here comes the turn. Spitfire RAF, hello to you, welcome. Welcome on board, folks. Look at that in the distance. Remarkable. Let's continue up. "37,000 feet for our cruise today. We've gone into vertical speed mode, interestingly. Let's go back to open climb. Now we go standard pressure. "5 miles. So we can see the VNAV actually doing stuff around us here. That little purple blip. We've got the constraints showing. Not that we're following those because we've climbed straight above them. Flight level 60 for Tala. But we're just going to climb away, and there is now our top of climb marker just after NATEB for our routing today. Nerds, is there a breakdown on the differences between experimental and dev branches? Good question. So the dev branch doesn't have this new VNAV function, which has top of climb, top of descent markers, a much improved open managed climb as well. Turn our wing light off as well. We can turn ADF2 off now because that was the Edinburgh NDB. Jay's got a restriction at 6,000. Yeah, we did as well. We manually overrode it. Of course, now with VNAV on departure, if you left it in managed climb, as Doctor on board said a little bit further up, then what that is it will follow the constraints really nicely. We'll test that through our descent later. What we'll do is we'll put in a number of... we'll leave it in managed descent mode, basically. See what happens. Ashley's saying there the pink dot that we've just seen is the speed limit point, or the SLP. You'll see that referred to on the charts as SLP as well. 250 knots at 10,000 point in this case. Really cool. All of that is currently only in the experimental branch of the fly-by-wire A32NX. No, go for it, yeah, definitely give it a go. Rox Gaming, hello. VNAV, LNAV improvements, flight model changes to FMGC guidance, some testing with new avionics frameworks. Alberto's asking, does anybody here have any recommendations for what to do with my frames per second situation? I get very low FPS with the following specs. Intel Core i7 CPU, 32 gig of RAM. What graphics card have you got? And what does it say that you're limited to as well? Let's do a little sit rep here. Now we've also got our top of climb marker. And further into our flight today, top of descent. And that might change depending on the arrival procedure that we use when we get a little bit closer. Let's get rid of Tala now because we are about to pass that. Now here's a question for you guys, those of you who might be looking forward to the Just Flight 146. What day would you like to see the preview video released? And also, how soon would you like to see a live stream preview as well? There's, I guess, two questions there for you guys. What do we got? I like the wing views. Wesley, are you in our new Osprey A350 by any chance? And if so, what do you think of it now you've seen it in sim? Oh, Baccasato. There you go. There's a question for the explainers in the chat. Which aircraft would you like to see next with the Osprey Airways livery? And Baccasato is saying either the 767 or the 757. Cromwell, fantastic. Well, there's a lot of well, there's a couple of streamers, including myself, that have been given access yesterday to it. So, I mean, I'm a fairly small channel compared to some of these folks, so I'm quite, well, I'm honoured that that Just Flight have offered it to me. I know 320 Sim Pilot is doing some stuff today, I think, or tomorrow as a live stream preview. But at the moment, there is no FMC inside the 146. That will be coming in about 2-3 weeks from now, potentially. There's a lot for it to go into at the moment, and that's what they're working on at the minute for the current, for the next beta build that will be released. So I'm basically enjoying using VOR navigation, that sort of thing. David A, just finished a flight to test the VNAV and it worked pretty well. A little wonky on hold speed restraints on descent, lost sound turning to capture glide slope, only sound markers, no engine. Interesting. Alberto, it could be your GPU, 1660 Ti, it depends on your settings that you're running as well. Ashley, thank you very much. Ah, Nighthawk, fantastic. How strange. Wesley, Speedbird 0 today. Wazair's got a G-Sync monitor with a 3080, recently switched on V-Sync, and 30 frames per second lock within the MSFS menu, much smoother performance minus any airport scenery which can cause micro stutters. Actually, that's interesting. Cromwell has got fond memories of flying the RJ100 on FSX back in the day, and I've got to say, it is absolutely stunning. Just Flight have made a beautiful looking aircraft. For Microsoft Flight Simulator. $12575 next, Mikhail. Nice one, thank you. Just a user, when will the stream start? Is it supposed to be right now? We started 25 minutes ago. There's our little pink dot on the top of climb again. And we want to tune 125750. Next. I mean, we could in theory now just leave it on managed again. A little dot back again. David, no worries, thanks. Cromwell, two big things that he's looking forward to at this point is the Just Flight 146 and he builds A310. Nice. Now, yeah, that's going to be quite cool, isn't it? That's going to be very, very fun, I think. A little bit more old school, isn't it, for an Airbus? So it has that kind of maybe like a 10% element of Boeing inside of it. Leo, nice. So I think my first live stream thing is going to be most likely. Ooh, good question actually. Most likely Birmingham to Jersey. Alberto, super strange. Perhaps YouTube's playing up a little bit. Everything's showing green on my end. Hopefully it's all working nicely now anyway. Hopefully it's all resolved. Oh god, first time loading into the Heathrow scenery and help. Oh dear, yeah. It should be okay, I'd like to think, he says. Got the Jersey European livery as well with the BA 146100 Cromwell. Gunnar, hello. About 40 miles to top of climb now. We'll be at our cruise altitude of flight level 370. Frank, man, this edition is so cool. Finally enjoying flight sim. Yeah, this plus the hold function and everything else remarkable from the flybywire team, and it's all free. It's incredibly good, isn't it? Gunnar's Speedbird 550 behind. Not picking up anything just yet. On TCAS. Hence why British Flyby is called that, indeed, yeah. So it went from Jersey European to British European, didn't it? And then British European to Flyby, if I remember the sequence of events correctly. Bakazato, see, for me, I would say the 757, only because it's one of my favourite aircraft inside inside where that I've flown on, I guess, in real life. I'd love to see it in Microsoft Flight Simulator at some point in the near future. Gonna know I manually overrode the constraints. Doctor on board, good news. Innsbruck now landing 08, so that means circle to land. Circling approach. That'd be good fun. Cromwell used to do East Midlands to Brussels or Frankfurt a lot with the 146. It'd be great when we get a fantastic scenery for East Midlands. That would be quite enjoyable, wouldn't it? The only problem is the developer that was using it is sadly in Kiev. in some ways, no problem at all. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. One of FlightSim's biggest virtual airlines for our flight today, FlyUK. Funnily enough, if you want to join, the website is on the side of the plane. Yo, Amsterdam radar's online. Perhaps do a quick ad hoc stop at Amsterdam to get some stroopwafel. That, I think, is... where is it? If I'm not mistaken, that's Newcastle down there. There's every chance I'm very mistaken, but let's pan round. I'm going to try and find the airport. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that is Newcastle. Jolly good. Gonna flight level 370. Gonna, yep, and island control there, as you're saying there. The call sign is Skyways for FlyUK. The OK is asking, the Avro 146 was the last aircraft manufactured in the UK, wasn't it? Ooh, I'm not sure. Look at that for a view. As we leave the coast, over Newcastle. And there's our TOPPA climb in about 12 nautical miles. We've got 1,300 foot to go. David, of course, yes. You know it was. Nighthawk, just saw British Avgeeks livery. Is that a real airline? Is that this one here? The FlyUK one? If not, well, if so, it's one of the biggest virtual airliners inside the flight sim community. Don't forget to smash the like button while you're here, folks, as well. The ambient noise now that you get inside the flybywire mod is, well, not mod. I got told off the other day for calling it a mod. The ambient noise that you get inside the flybywire A32NX aircraft is really nice now. Adds another dimension to the immersion, doesn't it? Going for one of these wing views and then having a little bit of ambience from the background. Oh, Jay, the Osprey livery would look good on the MD-80. It would, wouldn't it? We need some sort of retro-esque livery for the BA146 when it releases for MSFS as well. That's our cruise. For those of you in the UK, Chancellor's released his budget. Yes, we do serious news on this channel as well. No national insurance to be paid on earnings below 12,570 quid apparently, saving workers £330 a year. And then fuel duties to be cut by 5p a litre for 12 months to try and help with the crazy cost of stuff. And also some other breaking news from China in relation to the China Eastern Boeing 737 that sadly crashed the other day. They've located one of the 2 black boxes, which will be obviously key to working out what actually happened with that horrendous crash today. Hayden saying, hi, well, where is the stream? I got a notification that we're streaming. We are streaming, we're live. Really bizarre. It sounds like maybe YouTube's playing up today. Very odd. I'm going to try and load the stream up myself. Yeah, it's showing that we're live. You know what, my display's incorrect as well, because it's saying that we've got 90 people viewing. Yeah, it's just stuck on about 22 on mine. No, mine's working okay. I heard Bakazato saying, when is our next group flight? Oh, that's a tough question. You know what? It could be when we do the BA146 preview stream. Because I'll likely do that on Join FS, so that we don't have to worry about ATC and things like that. So it could well be that we do it for that. But we'd have to run it as if we're on VATSIM properly. Andy, I bet PP Rune almost then went down like a DDoS attack. I mean, there's a couple of theories. We discussed it inside our Discord server, whilst trying to keep it quite rational. But it's going to be either pilot error or structural / maintenance, isn't it? It's usually one of the two. And Leo's saying that the aircraft was in maintenance a couple of days prior to the incident as well, so who knows. Well, that's a good point, Doc on board. In response to Bakazato's question of when is our next group flight, it's a great answer actually. Every live stream is a group flight, properly, basically. Leo can't wait for the 757 and the A330 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. 2 wonderful aircraft, even though they're not coming anytime soon. Yeah, 757-200 for me, especially, is a big one. Jurassic, good afternoon, welcome, I hope you're okay. Nighthawk's posted some info on the 757 pencil in the crew room chat. I'll have a little look at that. You know what, Andy, it could just be that. It stinks to me of complete horizontal or vertical stabilizer failure, that sort of thing. Otherwise, yeah, the aircraft, if we were nose down now, the aircraft would naturally have a tendency to pitch back up again. Early 2023 for the 757 and MSFS apparently. Very much looking forward to it. Could it be rudder jammed? Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I'm trying to think of a scenario where it would have applied itself to that extent, to be honest. Enough to maybe break the linkages, because that's quite significant. So from ROKAN, we would be speaking to ATC over Amsterdam. We'll tune in now and have a little listen. Especially for those of you wanting to get started onto VATSIM, it's always good to hear everything that's going on all the time. Jurassic, yeah, absolute madness, isn't it? It's sheer stress, but can't get over how horrifying it must have been for those on board. That feeling of helplessness. Gorka, that is the experimental branch. So if you're on the dev branch, the in-op stickers are yellow, I think, or orange down there as well. But in the experimental version, they are red. And this version, the experimental branch, has got all of the new VNAV functions, top of descent, top of climb, all that sort of thing as well. So really is starting to come into its own now. It's incredible for freeware. The sheer amount of stuff, features and detail that has gone into this, thanks to all the different developers across the world within fly-by-wire, and the sheer scope of the development team has made it as remarkable as it is. So they are going to be working on some texture updates soon as well. What do we got? 5-4. There we go. Cheetah's flying along as well. Fantastic. Lots flying along today.
Delta 477, you are cleared to London City, runway 36 center, squawk 7330, departure instructions at the runway.
There we go. Yes, big old conga line. Makes 7 planes out as well. Fantastic. So we're going to fill all. We're going to fill the Innsbruck scenery up. If that's the case. Jones family, hello. So glad it was you who was the first to show a live stream of the VNAV. Oh, great to hear. Thank you very much. Just a user's screen seems to be stuck on the thumbnail. How many people in the live chat seem to have had problems with loading the stream up today? Oh, look, hello. Where's he gone? There. There's an aircraft passing right to left. Hopefully you can see it. Just there, just above the cursor. I'm tracking it for you if you can't. Descending down towards Newcastle by the looks of it. A little bit out of view, but we can see the nav lights. Just a user, I think it's a few people, to be honest. A bit of a wider problem with YouTube today. Interestingly, the command center that gives me the stream data is showing that it's all green, excellent condition for the stream, but everything's stuck at 22 viewers and 19 likes. But if I go onto my phone, I can see an entirely different story, which is weird. I know Nighthawk was saying he's off there now. Didn't quite see him. That's a shame. Hayden's had issues with the stream as well.
Lufthansa 169er, contact London Control 127.825, bye-bye. 127.825 for London. Alpine 6165, 8 is Delta, straight in ILS 06, descend 2000 feet, Q&A.
No issues on desktop, good to see. Strange. Don't know what's going on. Hopefully it will resolve itself anyway. Dan, wow, the plane you just saw is heading to Louisville, USA. They seemed like they were descending to me. If the wind stays how it is as well, into Innsbruck, then it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a circling approach again, and we're going to try and push for that circling approach. We'll stretch the VNAV to its limits in that instance. It's the first time using VNAV in the fly-by-wire aircraft as well. Very exciting. Digital Flight Decks just commented on the community post I did a little earlier on with the hints, or a little screenshot of us in action with the Just Flight 146 preview build. They sent me a 2,400 page FCOM, and I'm pretty certain it's the actual FCOM from the aircraft, from BAE Systems in fact. And it's every single system rooted in detail to try and learn everything that this aircraft is going to offer effectively. But the manual itself won't be a 2,400 plus page VNAV FCOM thing for the 146. I'd like to think. Unless they supply it as well for those of us who want the ultimate immersion. But there's a lot going on. It's a very complex aeroplane.
Korean 510 initially.
Hayden, really weird. 9 people waiting to come into the stream. Super strange.
Singapore 7396, 8 is Delta, QNH 1030, push and start approved, face Sierra 2.
I mean, there's no slow mode or anything on either.
November,
VNAV indeed, Ian. And Jurassic, yes. So, I mean, I can't really show you very much at the moment, except for later on in the flight today, top of descent, which might move. We might need to make it move once we've put in our SIDS and stars. There's a speed limit point as well, the SLP from the charts, so we'll have to make sure that works too, and then from TULSI, some sort of approach. And we're going to be calling up Amsterdam radar very soon. Maybe in about 5 minutes or so. We get a bit closer towards the ROKAN. Question is he using... Ah, he is. He's using CPDLC. Fantastic. Nabil, thank you very much. Super generous. Thanks for the super chat.
Hello mate. Loving your streams. I'm new here, so yay. Do you recommend any nice scenery for America?
So that's a good question actually. Would you like to have something like payware, or would you more focus up towards freeware scenery? Let's go Echo out Hotel Alpha Whiskey, which is the CPDLC logon code for them, and I'll just hold it there until we speak to him. Tough one really. If it's payware or freeware, or even both, we could try and create a list of top 5 perhaps. Wesley's went down to 7-Eleven for some ice cream, even though it's pouring with rain. Okay. B-Roll Anthology, welcome, new subscriber tuning in. Very warm welcome on board to you, joining the channel for the first time. Thank you very much for choosing to subscribe. New sim pilot as well, fantastic. And updating to the experimental A32NX. You've got a lot of things to look forward to. This is going to be the next 2 months. Fantastic. MSFS. Frank, yeah, there's a lot to learn. A heck of a lot to learn. Very exciting. I've done 1 flight in it so far, and I've had a lot of fun. I'm going to try and record a preview video of it later tonight with you guys too. Wojtek, interesting. Drop me another email and I will send it back on to Reg Designs to ask why you've not received it. It may well be they've forgotten, but I'll send another little push. Thanks for letting us know. Nabil, payware would do. Ooh, so Drzecki Designs, Washington National Airport, KDCA. That's an incredible one. In fact, one of the best pieces of scenery I've ever come across, actually, to be honest. Flight Beams, K Denver. What else? What do you guys in the live chat would, if you were to list your top 3 payware American sceneries for Microsoft Flight Simulator, what would it be? Those top 3. Put it in the live chat. Help Nabil out. I'm probably going to say something like Latvia VFR's San Diego, Drzecki Designs, Washington National, and what would my number 3 be? This is tough. I don't know. Earth page to top of descent. Not getting anything on there. Boeing, yes, Renton, Boeing Field. Oh, Yes, recently released. Fantastic. Renton. That was the big one I was thinking of. Yeah, Renton. I'd say Renton, Washington National, and yeah, if you want a bit of sun, San Diego as well. Flight Tampa's Las Vegas is a good one as well.
Speedbird 524, runway 06, cleared for takeoff, the wind 110 degrees, 6 knots.
Wind copy, runway 06, take off.
Alpine 6165, runway 06, cleared to land, wind 120 degrees, 3 knots.
Good land 06, Alpine 6165.
Korean 2984, continue descent, flight level 70, cross Archit, flight level 100 or below.
Descent flight level 0, RT to 100 or below, the direct to 94.
Film 926, proceed direct to UpNet.
Peter, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. FB saying his top 3: Chicago Midway, Washington National, and Flight Tampa's Las Vegas. That's a great top 3. Nabil's got Las Vegas, San Diego, Dallas, Chicago. Wow. Good mornings, Lively.
Speed
yeah, the new Renton is quite possibly the best scenery I've ever seen inside Flight Sim. I bet I've lost my connection notification page now, haven't I? Yes, fantastic. I knew I had to stay back on that screen. EHAW. So for CPDLC in this experimental branch of the flybywire aircraft, we connected CPDLC hoppies at the very bottom right-hand side of the comms screen prior to departure today. I have done a video on it. If you want to connect it and you're not sure where to start, there is a little tutorial I've created for it.
November Bravo, Roger, speed 280 knots.
280 knots.
Doctor on board, yeah, it will come soon, I'm sure. Right, let's speak to Amsterdam radar.
Korean 510 identified, 1900, climb flight level 250.
250, Korean 510.
I think we've got Langen radars to the north of us, covering Hamburg and Berlin, so that's not going to be of help to us. So we'll be a little bit of Amsterdam, and then as we leave Amsterdam airspace and head towards north of Dusseldorf and Frankfurt, we'll be on Unicom. So our route today would go north of Dusseldorf, overhead Frankfurt, and then passing overhead ever so slightly to the south of Munich by a couple of miles before heading into beautiful Innsbruck. Oh, David, I didn't even check. I checked the other day and it didn't work, but yeah, perhaps that would have popped up. That's something to try for next time, isn't it?
The wind 120, 3 knots.
Okay, let's speak to the guy. 15 miles to ROKAN.
Speed 270 knots.
I mean, it's kind of pointless using ACAS for this, to be totally honest, I think. So I might just not bother.
Korean 510, proceed
Thomas,
direct to
really strange. Any chance you know how to make the A320 mod work? Because mine will not load in when I load in with it. Are you using it for the very first time? And if so, how are you? Just explain to us how you're actually downloading it. Are you using their own installer? If so, it's a separate aircraft. So you need to go into the hangar. You'll see A320, but you need to keep scrolling down, and you'll see then flybywire A32NX brackets LEAP. Amsterdam radar, good afternoon. Skyways 908, flight level 370, passing ROKAN.
Skyways
Wojtek, no problem.
Amsterdam identified. Proceed direct to OTMEC. Oscar Tango Mike Echo Charlie.
Good afternoon. Proceed direct OTMEC, Skyways 908.
6165,
Okay, Wojtek wants to see it. Nabil, where do I get membership? Press the $sign in the live chat. You'll then see an option to join.
BC 516, Monitor Unicom bound 2.8, bye-bye.
So, EHAW, add it in, we can press notify, that sends off a little ping to him to say Skyways 908 wants to connect via ACARS, and when he accepts us, maybe it might take a few minutes, that will then pop down. That'll then pop down to say that current ATC Amsterdam, or EHAW. So I will leave, let's see, how can I do this? I'll leave that on like that for a few minutes. Howling, really nice so far. Just to use the saying, Innsbruck has a good scenery, kind of hard to fly in if you mess up personally. Thankfully I've done a tutorial on it, so if you do want to practice it, have a little look at that. If not, check it live today. There he is, he's accepting us. Current ATC unit EHAW. So if he sends us some messages, there'll be a little chime button. That there will go blue, say we've got a new message, and we'll go from there. Depending on what it could be. We've been given a direct to OTMEC, which I'm going to have to check. Potentially is, yeah, it's almost, well actually it's the waypoint over Arnhem before we leave his airspace.
004 Amsterdam radar, hello, squawk 2754.
Dan, no, nothing. Delta Tango, good afternoon. Do we now have VNAV in the flybywire A32NX? Yes, we do. We've got it in the experimental branch. Thomas, no, I had it installed since it launched, got back into the sim a few months back, updated the aircraft using the installer and it just won't load in. Which version are you trying to install? And also, when you load it for the first time, it can take 10-15 minutes to load effectively. Just to use if you're in Discord, the route is in the live streams tab inside Discord, but it's also in the description for today as well. Toad MC, hello. Welcome. Asking, does the AIG models populate the gates at airports? Because they could be, well, they feel like ghost towns sometimes. So that's a good question. They don't populate the gates, no. I mean, we use VATSIM, so in that instance, we've got other aircraft joining us as we fly along, and that fills the gates up naturally. It's other people flying. And then AIG works to add those models in as well. We've also got an additional Osprey Airways VMR for those people that are flying with our channel livery, so that they display correctly with that awesome Osprey Airways liveries inside the sim. You can inject traffic using AIG, Toad. So if you like to fly offline, you can inject traffic using their traffic injector, and that will put it into, it'll put aircraft into gates and things for you. So it could be worth trying to have a little fiddle around and have a little look at that.
Figurian 29084, correction, after Papa Alpha Mike, fly heading 235. After Papa Alpha Mike heading 235,
Drunk drone cam.
Korean 510, contact Bremen, 133.725, bye-bye.
Bremen 133.725, Korean 510, bye-bye. Amsterdam radar, good afternoon, EC fluctuates, Mike.
Oh, no problem at all. Hope that helped. You're more than welcome.
Mike, hello, proceed direct OTMEC identified.
Direct to OTMEC,
George, will I join Cross the Pond next week? I really wanted to, sadly. I'm not in I'm not at home. I'm out on a stag do for the weekend.
Unfortunately, Monarch Unicom Panther 2.8, bye-bye.
So I'm away.
Delta 477, line up 08, runway 36 center, report ready to copy departure instructions. Delta 477.
Not making 80 miles. We have a good little shortcut right down south of his FIR, really. Small FIR at Amsterdam.
Flying Bulgaria 461, descent flight level 100.
But an insanely busy little bit of airspace, really. Oh, Helen Crazy, yes, I did the written comms exam for my PEPL the other day, passed it. We also did. We also went up. Prior to that, I went flying properly. Did an hour and 20 minutes, I think it was.
Runway 05 in use. QNH 1030, squawk 7000.
Going 7000, Purple Cruise, runway 05 in use.
Papa Victor Whiskey, correct. Report ready for taxi.
We'll go.
Delta 477, after departure, turn left. Correction, after passing
Did practice forced landings around Haddenham for a little while, and that was good fun. Going right down to about 800 feet above the ground, 700 feet above the ground, roughly, before then going around. That was great fun. Picking fields to land in, and we had power lines all the way around us. So going up to Oxford from London, all these power cables we had to be careful of as well. So added an extra dynamic to our decision making, I guess.
Speedbird 0, hello, identified flight level 390.
Poseidon, hello, descending, and what looks like a little blue Z has popped up next to one of the waypoints. That could be your top of descent marker, if it's like a little downwards arrow. If not, it could be something like your SLP. We'll find out a little later on. KLM 704 off for some stroopwafel in Amsterdam. Let's go for that view, shall we? We get a bit of the coastline as we head over. Hello, Crazy, thank you.
Flying Bulgaria 461 from present position, proceed direct to Papa Alpha Mike, descent flight level 70.
Ah, there you go, Helen Crazy saying it's top of descent, Poseidon. In fact, I can show you by going on plan mode, really, if I want to be really helpful. We go to 10 miles.
KLM 004 on second thought, proceed direct Sugol, descent flight level 70 to cross Sugol at flight level 100 or below.
So that little downward arrow there, that's top of descent. If that's what you mean, Poseidon. And then we've got the speed limit point, which is that little S. No, it's not. That's south. How stupid of me. So that's not appearing yet, but it's just before MANAL, actually, isn't it?
Delta 477 identified, climb flight level 200, resume O navigation, direct upnet.
So we'll see that. I think it's more of a dynamic blip there.
Ligurian 2984, descent 2000 feet, QNH.
Ian's recently joined Aegean Virtual. Wow. Highly recommended if you enjoy flying in and around Greece. Alan Crazy, there you go. So if descent is already engaged, it shows a blue zigzag symbol. So hopefully we will see that a little later on into the flight. And you know, we're learning things as we go. It's great. Stuff I don't know either. So it's great that you guys are in the chat helping everybody, because it's helping me as well. Nabil doesn't get any of the options. Interesting. You should either see, for memberships, you should be able to either press the $sign, which should also give you a join option, or there should be something on your screen next to the channel name, British Av Geek, that says join. Yeah, it should be a magenta dot, Howling Crazy, from what we've seen so far. What do we got? Here we go. Oops. Super speedy zooms. So, Doctor on board with some useful information there for the VNAV. Newbies like myself. Blue zigzag means you're catching the VNAV profile, aka you're too high. And a blue zigzag is where you will catch the VNAV profile. Perhaps we'll see that. Although my tendency is to descend too early, so who knows. Let's try and zoom around and catch another screenshot of the Amsterdam coast, or the Netherlands coast I should say. Down below us, looking rather nice.
Flying Bulgaria 461, turn left heading 250, vectors ILS 06, information Delta.
Delta, left heading 250, vectors for the ILS 06, Flying Bulgaria 461.
So what he's done is he's given us a direct to
KLM 004 after Sugol,
straight north of Amsterdam. Alan Crazy, holding back as the current experimental build that I'm on is working a tree with no crash to desktop, but this one's working really nicely so far. Touch wood, don't want to jinx it. So we're looking for a massive concrete mass down there. In fact, there it is. There's Amsterdam. I mean, that is blurry as hell, but you can see it.
KLM 004 after Sugol to Sierra Papa Lima.
Jay, good morning. Beside us, it's a little blue Z with an arrow pointing at the flight path. What does it denote? So that is saying that you're above the flight path vertical profile. So you need to try and increase your rate of descent to catch it. From what it sounds like reading the live chat and the health of others. Jay's asking, does that mean the A320 will descend by itself with the new VNAV? It should do. We'll find out later on, I'm sure. Well, hey, look at that. Andy, that bridge below you, I've driven across it. Amazing. I think it was on the other side, wasn't it? Going across the big patch of water. Doctor on board is also saying, if you descend too early and manage descent, the aircraft will descend max of 1,000 foot per minute until catching the VNAV profile. I see there's something else to watch out for. So if you're too high, it should work to get back on the profile with the VNAV. And if we are descending a bit too early, it should limit our rate of descent until we catch the VNAV profile. So either way, almost like a fail-safe to help us fly this even more accurately. But it shows you how much thought, or how much automation is in the Airbus systems. Amsterdam looks remarkable down below. I mean, there's Amsterdam Airport. You can see all its different runways jutting out. Crazy big airport. And then Rotterdam further south. Ollie, glad I caught the stream. Started a new job, doing 12-hour shifts has wiped me out. I did manage to get my first flying lesson in last week though, fantastic. A, what did you fly? And B, how was it? Or C, are you hooked? Are you doing more? Congratulations on the new job as well. 12-hour shifts, I know what you're probably feeling like there, because I do 12-hour shifts. They are long and quite tiring at times, especially the night shifts.
250 until for the notice Flying Bulgaria 461.
Helen Crazy, can you post images on YouTube in chat? I don't think so, no. So what we're going to do later into the flight, we'll set a descent, we'll set an altitude target, we'll then press manage descent mode, so it's then telling the aeroplane, I want to descend now please, but I want you to follow the constraints in managed mode, and then it will rush through. Just a user, no problem, take care. Dabney, hello, with X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in the exact same spot, would Amsterdam be blurry in both from this exact altitude? Looked a little fuzzy. So I guess in real life, your eye can't do that, and even if you zoomed in, there's Amsterdam Airport there, if you zoomed in with a camera, it would be blurry anyway, so I guess it's trying to replicate that in a sense. I think it looks realistic from when you're looking down through the window of the aeroplane, you know, say for example you're looking out through the window now, I think that looks bang on realistic.
KLM 004 Amsterdam.
GWA also booking a motion simulator experience in Coventry. Flight Sim Midlands with a converted real A320 cockpit into a motion sim. Wow, that's pretty cool. Want to see if I'm as good an Airbus pilot as I think. That sounds good fun though. So very soon when we get to OTMEC. 20 miles for that. There's our TOPPA descent marker right off in the distance. We get to OTMEC, we should not too long after that get passed off back to Unicom. Howling Crazy, yeah, stick it in Discord and I'll see if I can do some magic with my rubbish technical skills to try and get it on the screen for everyone else so we can kind of show it to everyone else too. There's a TCAS thing. There's an aeroplane going the opposite direction, 30 miles, or it's going to pass 20 miles to the south of us. So the question is, can we see it? Yep. Should be flying overhead of where I am now, doing some VLVR over the Netherlands. Nice. Calamex Games, welcome. NDMZ is the VNAV feature publicly available? Yes, in the experimental branch. So if you've got the fly-by-wire installer, just find the experimental button, press that, and install that one. He's level. Oh, now he's disappeared.
461, descent 2000 feet, QNH 1030.
2000 feet, QNH 1030.
Who knows? Jay's down below us.
004, speed 220 knots.
Correction, Yoep is down below us doing some VFR and VATSIM in the Netherlands. Holy wow, it's a microlight. Not sure what the model was though. That's remarkably cool. Had an hour flying around the Isle of Wight, which was amazing. That sounds stunning. Got to do it ASAP again. New job's going well. Building wing turbine blades. Whoa. What a cool job that is. Do you have to go up the turbines as well? Doctor on board could be descending. I'm going to try and find him on.
Azure 521, rate of climb 1000 feet per minute or greater.
I'm not sure actually, because he's going to Reykjavik, so who knows. Actually, no, he should be at his cruising altitude now, really.
KLM 472, hello, clear to Berlin, Niker 4, correction, Niker 5.
I can see Yoep in his PA-28, EHLE to EHLE, Papa Hotel Juliet Victor Whiskey. And he was literally below us in Lelystad Airport, which I definitely pronounced incorrectly. So he's down there somewhere.
2984, that is approved, taxi gate Bravo 23.
Although he's a tiny aeroplane in the vastness of space below, so we probably won't see him this far up. Dabney, I love MSFS, it's fantastic. I really like it, and I've got no reason to change either, to be totally honest. We're going to stay inside the flight deck. We're going to wait for either Skywise 908, him to call us up, or we'll wait for the ACAS to blip. And then we will be passed over to Unicom. Howling, let's have a little look on Discord. I'll see what I can do.
Freebird 426, descend to flight level 120, proceed direct Sugel.
Down 120 and correct speedbird 426.
Delta 477, monitor Unicom bound to 2 decimal 8, bye bye.
1 2 8, that's 427, good day.
Flying Bulgaria 461, turn right heading 330.
Right 330, flying Bulgaria 461.
So there's lots of symbols here for VNAV. Thanks to Howling Crazy. I'm going to try and put them on the screen so you guys can see. Who knows? Let's see what I can do here. Ay, ay, ay. And we're listening out for that little noise that will tell us to change to Unicom via ACAS. Wow, that probably appeared massive on your screens. Let's try and fix this.
Canon 472, request for this.
First flying Bulgaria 461, turn right heading 030, clear ILS 06.
So, that's the first one.
5030 cleared ILS 06.
Hopefully you can see it nicely on the screens.
472, 8 is Delta, QNH 1030.
So what it's showing us is our top of descent marker at the very top. These are the level symbols within the VNAV now that we can enjoy currently in the experimental branch. It will then eventually go into the developmental version as well. So level symbol, top of climb, or level off position. When the aircraft reaches the FCU selected altitude, and that will be a blue arrow, or the constrained altitude, if it is more restrictive than the FCU altitude, and if appropriate modes are engaged, i.e. managed climb, and it will be then magenta arrows. But it does not appear when the aircraft is within 100 foot above or below the selected altitude for those two pseudo waypoints. And then the one later on in the flight shows the top of descent symbol, or continued descent symbol, and it's white if descent is not armed, and blue if descent is armed. And then I'm going to try and get the
Papa Victor Whiskey, stand by short.
the other one up. This is even bigger. Look at that. Holy moly. There we go. Hopefully you can see that a bit better, folks. There's a lot here. So we've got start of climb symbol. There goes our ACAS beep. ATC message. No ATC in the next sector. Frequency change approved. Roger. Send.
C5020, hello, identity.
So we can drop off him. That message is slowly sending to him as we're now flying over part of Langen radar. Okay, so top of start of climb symbol white if climb is not armed at the very top, blue if climb is armed. You got the Z that Poseidon was mentioning earlier in the live chat, which is the intercept point symbol. It's white if only NATEB mode is engaged, blue if descent mode is engaged. So ideally it'll be blue because we will already be in descent most likely, and it basically indicates the point at which the aircraft is predicted to intercept the descent path if there is any vertical deviation while the aircraft is in descent mode. So that's what that refers to, Poseidon. Hopefully that helps. The little magenta dot, which we saw twice on departure and climb out, indicates the point at which the aircraft will start an automatic acceleration or deceleration from the current speed to a new computed speed for speed limits, speed constraints, or holding speeds. The deceleration point should now be automatic, actually, with VNAV in place, but we'll find out If we haven't already triggered the deceleration or approach phase by this point, when we hit the D magenta, it should trigger approach phase automatically in the MCDU. Indicates the point at which the aircraft is predicted to decelerate for approach and thus switch to the approach phase. It's magenta if managed speed and nav or approach mode is engaged, white if in selected speed or heading track, and automatic decelerations only occur when displayed in magenta, i.e. nav or approach mode. Interesting. So we've got to be in managed speed and nav, or approach mode is already engaged. Altitude constraints set around the constrained waypoint. It's magenta. We've already seen that a little bit already, where altitude constraint is predicted to be satisfied. Amber when it's predicted to be missed, which we haven't seen, and white when the altitude constraint is not taken into account by any VNAV guidance and nav mode is engaged. Skipping to the bottom, energy circles. I don't know if this is implemented yet. We'll find out. Green arcs. It's centered on the aircraft position and orientated to the current track line, represent the required distance to land, and only displayed in the descent and approach phases when a selected lateral mode is engaged, i.e. heading or track. So we might even get to see the energy circle later. Very exciting. Who knows? We can only hope. We'll find out in about an hour and a bit. Thanks for showing those. Christopher, back home in Sweden. That doesn't sound too bad to me. Tiny, negligible 3-knot headwind today for our route today as we pass, I think that's Dusseldorf down below. Hi and hello to you. TOPPA Ninja, does VATSIM use an external client for MSFS? Yes, it does. Good question. That is Dusseldorf down below there, by the way. It uses, for MSFS, a client called vPilot, and that's what injects the network into the sim and allows you to connect to the network. Ollie, my friend does the maintenance out in the field. He has to use the ropes to go up and inside the blades when they're in use. Well, yeah, I couldn't do that. Quite incredible though. What a cool job. However, you do the blades lie sideways, and I deal with the final prep and repairs before they get shipped out for painting. Wow. George, loving it so far. VNAV for A32NX will be so good. Well, it's available now if you want to give it a go yourself. You just got to go to the installer and download the experimental version of the flybywire A32NX aircraft. Ramirez, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. And Chris, hello to you. Altea, Spain. Very nice. Visiting from the States on holiday. Hope the weather's great for you and you're having a good time. Jamlin, good afternoon to you as well. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope you are enjoying the stream today. Folks, do hit like if you've not done so already, and if you are new, like Ramirez, I hope you choose to hit subscribe as well down below. Jordan, Texas, would you share your cam presets for engine view, etc.? I already have done. If you do want to get your hands on it, head to flightsim.to and type British AvGeek, and if you go into my user profile, you'll see all the stuff that I've updated, or I've uploaded onto flightsim.to, including different camera profiles for a number of different aircraft that we fly. Ryan, good afternoon. Hello. Very well, thank you. Thanks for asking. I hope you're well as well. Cheers for tuning in this rather nice sunny day. I wonder if that's a bit too far away, but that could be Cologne. I think it is Cologne Bonn Airport. Echo Delta Delta Kilo. Just off in the distance, left of the screen, tracking left to right. DC Mo, what's up? Hello to you, welcome. How are you doing? Got in Texas, no worries. Hope you enjoy them. It'll at least get it started. So if you get the camera views installed to the specific different aircraft, you can still then, they'll be in the right position ideally at that point. So you'll be able to just move them around if you do want to tweak them to your own liking. DC Mole, yeah, you know what? Lots of people seem to be having some issues more generally with YouTube today, which is a bit strange. So we've had a couple of folk struggle to tune in, except for people on desktop have been fine. A couple of people on iPads, tablets, phones have had some weird issues connecting today. Rather odd. I've had no memos or issues from YouTube suggesting there is a problem though. Hopefully, 99.9% of the issues that people have been having are fixed. Total airtime today, by the way, was about 2 hours 10 minutes from Edinburgh to Innsbruck. We're almost at the halfway point now, and over German airspace. DC Mol, have I been out aviating lately? What day is it today? Yes, 2 days ago, Monday. I was doing practice force landings over Oxfordshire. And I also sat my written communications exam, which I passed. Really nice day to fly it was actually when we flew on Monday, but it was very foggy or misty. I'd probably say misty actually. It was haze. It was very hazy. That's the best word. Let's go meteorological here. It was hazy, very hazy in fact. So even at 3,000 feet, we're flying around Haddenham, Tame, south of Oxford. It was very hazy all around, and even flying back into Denham, it was hazy throughout the approach. They switched the runway. We departed on runway 24, and we landed on 06. So that threw me a little bit, because I in my head I'd expected to rejoin the circuit for runway 24. When I called them up for all of the weather data, they told us it was a 06 left-hand circuit. It threw me a little bit initially, so told me to report St Giles. But we were just about in the right place at the right time to hit that at 1,000 feet for the rejoin. So it was all good, very nice. A little bit of a floater on landing, and as I was floating I was joking to my instructor. I was probably a little bit too keen on the flare, and he was laughing away. But we still made a nice touchdown in the end. Great stuff, Hilton, Texas. Christopher, member for 15 months. Wow, that's amazing. Is that how long we've had memberships for? Thanks for all of your ongoing support. Go into Afterburner, so we'll get there sometime. One can only hope. Cheetah, can I choose if I do a circle to land, or is it wind dependent? So it is weather dependent. It depends on the runway in use. Shamrock earlier on, actually, further up in the live chat, asked which runway are you going for at LOWI? Current winds are 150 at 4 knots. So at Innsbruck, we've got two options. Let me bring up Navigraph so you guys can see what we're sort of talking about. Where is the airport briefing? That one. Runway 08 and runway 26. At the moment, the current METAR says the wind is 150 at 4 knots, variable between 100 degrees and 190 degrees. Cloud ceiling and visibility okay. Temperature plus 20 degrees Celsius. Plus 20 degrees Celsius, is that correct? Is that seriously the actual METAR at Innsbruck at the moment? That is like summertime hot for the UK. 20 degrees, wow. And dew point -6. That's a huge spread. That's remarkably hot, with a remarkably low dew point as well. QNH 1027, wow. Wesley, wow. Remember for 15 months. Thank you very much. I haven't paid in full yet. Thanks for your support. Where were we? Innsbruck. Here we go. Yeah, so runway 26 or 08 are the options. We are expecting to fly the TULSI 3 Alpha arrival, which is that one. So TULSI at or above 9,500 feet. Down to the Rattenberg NDB, which is the usual at the moment for approaches like this, and then I think with the wind as it is being variable and favouring 08, we can choose runway 08, and Dr. On Board's more recent METAR suggesting 090 at 5 knots, variable between 030 and 130 degrees, and QNH 1026. So yeah, definitely 08 is the option for us, and in that case, from here, let's pin that so we don't lose it. We've got loads of different options for the approach. We can do RNAVs, RNAV approaches into runway 08 by LMEM, or this special lock DME East procedure, which is what we were configured for effectively. So from Rattenberg onto Advig, final approach with the offset ILS, we'll be tracking that a little bit, and then breaking off at 4.2 DME from OEV, which is the lock DME, south to the power lines, and then descending down 3,700 feet, downwind leg, manually flown circle approach. We've got the Orbx Innsbruck as well, which has got the St. Axam's Church, is it, I think, from memory? There we go, Church Axam's, the start of right base, which is that little one blip there. And I have done lots of tutorials on this. I've not done this live for a very long time, so we'll see how we go. Airport elevation 1,907 feet, so we will we'll get the APU fired up for approach effectively as an option to bleed through the APU. What have we got here? So, depending on the approach, 11.1, 11.2, 12.2 or 11.4. So we want special lock DME East. At the top of the page, that's telling us it's chart 11.2 for Innsbruck. So we go back to this, and we want 11.2, there we go. So our minimum's 3,700 feet. And the RVR of 5,000 meters. So that's useful. There we are. Missed approach, by the way, for this. We will end up by 4.2 if we haven't got this nice and stable, or we can't see the runway for whatever reason. We'll be turning left over the threshold in the valley. Max radius of 0.86. It's quite a steep turn. Minimum of 25-degree bank at 153 knots ground speed, and then we'll be heading back outbound towards Rattenberg to give it another go effectively. Riney, why would you put the APU on approach? So you can turn the APU on, and what that will do is it will give you, if you bleed the air conditioning packs through the APU, you can then get a little bit more power out of the engines. Yeah, the conditions are out of limit for 2.6. Yeah, I would say you could do the runway 08 RNAV approaches though. RMP 08, as Doc on Board has said there. Christopher's saying, I wonder how often that circling approach is really used because it seems rather risky. It does, doesn't it? I don't think it's used often. I know when, well, back in the days of the Dash 8s and things with Flybe flying in, it was used every now and again, but it's certainly a procedure that does get used every now and again. But you're right, it's a very tricky approach. Now at the bottom of your screens, Frankfurt. We're just flying over that. We're about to overfly Frankfurt. So we're making some very good progress now. Little TCAS blip in about 40 miles. Wojtek, it was added yesterday, I think. Yesterday evening, I believe, in the experimental version. Saying can't wait to try the VNAV out. It's worked quite nicely so far. Some AD, yeah, VNAV. In fact, there's our little top of descent marker there. In, wow, less than 80 miles? Really? Now, is the fly live? Ah, okay, good stuff. So Fly Live Studio is tricking me. Let's reset that. It seems to have stopped working again, as it usually does through streams. Definitely need a new overlay. EGPH, LOWI, UKV, 908. There you go, 76% of the way. Good grief, that was a heck of a trick on me. Right, so in that case, we better start tuning things in. LOWI, arrival, we've already briefed it, so we know what we're doing. Special lock DME. Ooh, let's see. Is that one? Jeff, potentially yes, though we've not tried it. Christopher, yes, good point actually. What are we doing? We're doing the Tulsa 3 Alpha arrival, lock DME 26 via Rottenburg. You need to make sure that you're putting in the special lock DME procedure in for runway 26 because that is what the approach is. The rest is then manually flown. Lock 26. So it was initially what I was going to go for. What are we doing here? Tulsa 3 Alpha, like so. So pretending to the aeroplane we're going to land on 26, and then in we go, like so. Right, top of descent, we've got to think about the Tulsi 3 Alpha. We need to be at or above 9,500 feet at Tulsi, so we can find that here. And then it's telling us Rattenberg flight level 113. Interesting. But we want to be at Rattenberg at flight level 95, sorry, so 9,500 feet. Let's do... Oh, that's 17 miles, isn't it? So we could do 10,500. There. And then at Rattenberg, whoops, wrong button. Rattenberg. Want to be at 9,500. So that may have moved our top of descent marker, and there's every chance it potentially has. There's the orange VNAV marker that we mentioned earlier. So when we get a little closer, we're actually flying the ILS, before 4 miles, we will get rid of the approach mode effectively, and we will then move into heading mode and things like that. So we might see magenta things turn into white icons on the screen, and we'll see what happens. There's another little TCAS. Is he heading away or towards? He's in front. 1,000 below. 40 odd miles that way. A little bit out of view still. Christopher, 24 degrees Celsius in the cabin. It seems the pilot's having a passenger sweat. When I flew home, the cabin was hot as hell. I woke up sweaty. Whoa, that is really hot. What are we, cabin temp wise? 24 degrees. Let's get it down, shall we? Philip, hello, welcome. Hey, hello to you. did you encounter any issues while installing the experimental version? Infinite loading times when loading the aircraft onto stand? No, I didn't. I got, on occasion you get 10-ish minutes of load time, but if you run into that sort of difficulty, what I would probably recommend is do something like uninstall the flybywire A32NX entirely, boot the sim so it loads it without it, and then go from there, reinstall it as a brand new aircraft add-on. Right, enter destination data. It's always a good sign, means we're close. And also, I'm going to run Sky Dolly for the first time. To see what happens with that, with the replay. I don't know how it works. Oh, hey, it's good stuff. Yeah, it can take 10 minutes sometimes. Right, what was the METAR? Oops. Just put it on all of Unicom. Oh dear, happens to all of us. 1026. That's a really high QNH. Temperature plus 20 degrees. Whoa. Winds 090 at 5. Are we expecting any snow in here then? In Innsbruck. Visual approach, minimum's 3,700 from the charts. We discussed it about 5 minutes or so, and we want to make sure we've got landing config in full as well. And I'm sure Doctor on board will provide us with our relevant performance data for the go around as well. Inside the VORs, we need to tune quite a lot of them. So Rattenberg 303. Lock DME treble 11 OEV, that's what we've got there. We've got those tuned. We've got to make sure that is identified properly overhead the Rattenberg VOR. I'm hoping for some snow-capped mountains somewhere, Doc. Rum 320. Missed approach 109.7. Innsbruck 420. Now we don't really need to worry about that one too much, although Rum, OEV, OEJ. Okay, so Rum's not really needed for us. Let's change Rum ADF1 to 420, which is the Innsbruck NDB, and that's us covered. Then we've got everything tuned in that we can possibly think about tuning. TOPPA Ninja, it's something called a landing rate monitor. Do check it out on the channel. If you've not done so already, I have got a tutorial on it. We're getting close to top of descent. About 130 track miles to go, I think. There's our little top of descent marker. It's white at the moment. We shall wait to see what happens when we get a bit closer, and we will then aim to try and get a continuous descent all the way to 9,500. So I'll just set 9,500 on our altitude bit there on the control panel, FCP or whatever it's called, and then we will just see what the new VNAV function does for our descent. Has anybody ever used Sky Dolly before? And if so, it's got a replay function, right? Do I have to choose logbook or formation? It's just logbook, right? It's the first time using Sky Dolly. to replay the landing. Usually we use flight recorder, but it seems to be getting worse with issues at the moment with that, so I tend to avoid it. Sounds like YouTube's having a bit of a weird day today. A couple of people struggling to get into the stream. Very odd. Not sure why that would be the case. In the next 15 minutes we might get a little boop from Skytrack, which is the FlyUK flight tracking software. It will tell us to change a frequency to make sure we're still present. George, there we go. Hopefully it all works as it should. We'll find out in less than a few miles actually. Here we go. So let's go to, I don't know, let's pick 23 for now. We'll go to managed mode. Oh, look at that. There's our VNAV path, our profile. There's the Z, which is our profile for descent. And we'll go to 9.5. Here we go. So magenta, flight level 105, that's constraints. We're in open descent mode at the moment. And the little Z is telling us roughly there is when we should be intercepting our VNAV path, our profile down to 9,500. It's disappeared now because it thinks that we're going to be okay. TULSI flight level 105 is the first target. We've set 9,500, which is the Rottenburg VOR altitude we have to reach, but prior to that we also tuned TULSI at flight level 105 just as an extra one. So we've done that and it's got that as a armed function for us. Little green dot there is telling us our VNAV profile, if you like. So that Z that it was trying to get us to hit, or telling us that's where we're going to hit our profile all the way down to meet TULSI at flight level 105 and Rattenberg at 9,500. That's what that little VNAV dot is, which is really cool. It's great to see this working. This is remarkably good. Hats off to the fly-by-wire team. You know, I was present a lot in the earlier days, doing a lot of testing work for them, and you know, life's just got way too busy these days. But it's great to see that they're still so dedicated to the project. Danny, for me the VNAV worked pretty nice. It doesn't go down fast on the initial descent, by the way, but later descends up to 3,000 foot per minute. Cheetah, my top of descent is stuck near the end of the flight plan. Is everything working as normal? How can I move it up? It depends what you've programmed into your MCDU for your flight path today. It also depends, have you got the experimental branch? Because if not, you don't have VNAV. There's that little speed window. This is a game changer, Christopher. Yeah, and this is freeware. I mean, look at all those constraints coming in there. Good grief. I'll just see loads of magenta. Right, what do we got here? TULSI 3 Alpha. QNH is 1026, and we're going to expect runway 08. And the plan is to leave everything as it is. Just leave everything in managed mode. I've got the charts ready. They're all pinned. The only thing we could probably do is, in fact, parking stands. Have we got them on that chart? I don't think we do. It's fine. We'll just use the apron wherever's free. Jay's loving it. It's just nice not having to do much. Yeah, some of these aircraft are very complex. The CRJ, prime example, the Just Flight BAE 146, wow, even more complex, but incredibly rewarding learning them as you go and trying to get that level of immersion in. I mean, 60 miles seems like we're still a little far out, really. I mean, I think that's Zurich, isn't it? No, that's Munich. Get my geography right. There's Munich. So actually, you know what? We're probably about right here, thinking about it off the top of my head. We'll just sort the drone camera out. Snow-capped mountains. That's what we like. That's what we want. Beautiful Munich down below. Fantastic sim-wing scenery there, available via Aerosoft. It just keeps everything nice and relaxed when you've got an aircraft like this. You can sit back in your seat, you can munch on an ice cream, you can have a couple of gin and tonics, let VNAV do its thing. Microsoft Flight Simulator is really coming into its own now. Actually, pretty much, yeah. Is it time to go get a coffee and let the Airbus descend and land itself? I think we were on the same wavelength, so I was talking about gin and tonics there. Munich, there's one place I want to go to, not visited before. Love Germany. Definitely need to try Munich. We should have a little right turn coming up. Keep smashing the like button while you're here, guys, as well. Hopefully you're loving the stream today. Right turn any second now that we're abeam Munich. Trying to position to get a nice little screenshot here. I mean, we'll have to come out of the aircraft at some point, or come back into the flight deck at some point, otherwise we risk missing a lot of the stuff, a lot of the action. Stephen, can you use the Turtle Beach yoke for your? Yes, you can actually. There's presets already positioned in place for it to use some of the buttons on the back of the yoke as rudder pedals, effectively like trigger buttons. Very cool bit of kit. Andy's a big question, is X-Plane 12 going to be a competitor, or are they going to be very different platforms for different simmers? I think they're going to be competitors, there's no doubt about that. Whether or not... I mean, the thing is with X-Plane is they've got a very, very solid fan base who are devoted to X-Plane effectively. So there's a lot of people that have tried Microsoft Flight Simulator who have always used X-Plane, and they were very quick to judge MSFS and go back to it. But I think now it's got to be... This has got to be a heck of a market leader, surely. Interesting, my Volanta seems to have closed itself. This is doing remarkably well. Look at this. X-Plane 12 isn't released just yet. Garden. I'm okay, thank you. X-Plane 12 is going to be great. But they're both very different sims. Even though they try to do the same thing. But like Bramish has said, X-Plane, MSFS, it can be quite tribal, can't it? The thing with X-Plane 12 is a lot of developers, by the looks of it, are finding it very easy to port everything across. Look at that, there's our speed limit point. And the profile. I think since the start of 2022, Microsoft Flight Simulator has really started to accelerate into the distance a lot of other aircraft, a lot of other simulators, I think. Love a bit of CDP. LM, I've got the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight kit. So it doesn't think we're going to reach TULSI at flight level 105, I don't think. But yeah, right, LM, effectively, X-Plane 12 just seems to me like it's X-Plane 11 with a refresh and MSFS clouds. I don't know. I know that people are very excited because they've seen an A330 in the preview videos and things like that, but I think I need a bit more myself to get that. Right, 3,000, 105, 10. Actually, I think we're going to make this. There goes their SLP. It's refreshed itself now and sorted itself out. It's also recognising that actually we can come off our rate of descent. Promise, yeah, this is VATSIM. Dock on board. I need a 08 performance, approach performance for go-arounds. But the special lock DME East procedure focuses on 2.6, but we need the data for 08. That makes sense. I'm curious to know where our decel point is. Just after the Rattenberg. Crikey. Innsbruck NDB is now picked up on ADF1. We've not yet picked that up. That's fine. Wow, bro. Just reset your password for VATSIM. Last login was 2005. Well, welcome back. LM, have you done a tutorial on how to use VATSIM? I have indeed. Do check it out. Got quite a lot of VATSIM tutorials on the channel actually. Hopefully they prove useful to everybody. Look at that, 10,000 foot per minute, 10.5. And then we should continue down to 9.5, and that has hit that wonderfully. Jasper, hello. Vertical profile is not accurate yet, unfortunately. It seems to me like it's doing a pretty damn good job of it, though. What about you? Innsbruck traffic, Skyways 908, A320 descending through 10,000 feet, QNH 1026. TULSI 3 Alpha arrival for the special lock DME East. Circle to land, runway 08. Will report finals. Innsbruck traffic. I'm going to activate that now because I will forget. 9,500 coming up. Special up DME charts. Advig, so outbound Rattenberg 207 degrees, Advig 21. There's the data from the dock. So 4319 slash 7,000. Holy moly, 4319. Got to put these on. Christopher, yeah, I think because we didn't reach 10,000 until I manually dropped it in. Cheetah have indeed entered Austria. So Advig at 9,500, intercept the localizer, and down we go. Actually, nice. Going to be doing the RNAV 29 DMER thing for the circle to land for Dubrovnik. Enjoy. 7.5 miles to Rattenberg. We will go flaps 1 in a second so that we get a bit of configuration. Generic pilot, we've got the Orbx scenery into Innsbruck, and we're going to do the circle to land. I love this approach. It's so good. Wesley says try to spot me on the left hand side. No idea, can't see. You're not even on TCAS. Okay, 5 miles to go to Rattenberg. Let's slow down to 180. We'll go flaps 1. So what, 198 actually. Matthew, hello! Totally never forgotten the lights and sterile cockpit chime at 10,000, only to realise it on base before. Totally never done that. I'm glad it's not just me. Let's get the APU fired up for bleed.
Number 3 behind the traffic, 20 miles in front of me. After traffic past 10 left, direct Rattenberg, then Arnas Zulu, runway 26.
It's been remarkably beautiful, hasn't it, for a very late winter / early spring sort of feel. This approach, by the way, is 3.77 degrees glide slope, so it's, yeah, so a little steep. Usually it's about 3 degrees. There's that little VNAV ball appearing again.
Innsbruck traffic, EC5 Juliet Mike. 1.5 miles from Rattenberg, 9,500, 250 knots.
Oh, that's quick. Okay, well, I'm going to try Sky Dolly for the first time. Never tried it before. We're now recording with Sky Dolly. 10 miles. OEV 24. Hayden, hello! It's getting chilly again for us next week, Christopher. Don't worry, we've got a little winter left. So this is an offset ILS. Look at that. Sunshine and snow. Stunning. Missed approach is back to 9,500, so we'll just leave that set. The one to watch is our minimums, 3,700. But we're now on the glide, well, almost on the glide. Once we pass this little break in the mountain, this little ridge coming up, we'll then be on the glide.
Speedbird 0, EasyJet is in sight. After 5 miles, turning left, bound direct Rattenberg for the RNAV Zulu 26.
H, no, none. Information Alpha, good afternoon. Now that looks like the nose has dropped. There goes the throttle with it, so we're now on the glide. And there's Innsbruck coming into view. Innsbruck traffic, Skyways 908 on the glide, 26, circle to land 08, 17 miles. Samuel, sadly not working, sorry, I'm out of the country. Let's go flaps 2. JED, welcome aboard. Information Alpha, so have you not been affected by the random 3-hour performance hit? No, not today, bizarrely, and we've had less stutters today as well. The only thing that I've done, there was a new GeForce NVIDIA graphics update this morning, and I've updated that prior to today, today's live stream, so perhaps it's something to do with that, maybe. 15.1, we're looking at this. When that's 4.2, we need to break off into the valley and towards that gap on the left. Love this approach. Jurassic, Edinburgh. My mate Stag. Laps 3, we're pushing the red. But the drag should now assist with us slowing down quite a bit. Let's see, what have we got here? That's the view that's nice. Now if Sky Dolly works as I'm hoping it is, we should be able to get a replay of the circle to land. Boring Pilot Nick, how would you set VNAV up? All you need is the experimental branch of the flybywire A32NX. Yep, absolutely. Always a stunning approach, isn't it? That speed's bleeding off nicely now. In fact, what we do want to do is set 3.5. Because of the procedure that we're doing. Yeah, Danny, we should be okay. I'm going to do something a little different today and just see what happens. Usually, I think on my tutorial, just for the sake of being easy, we set this before. 5.5's white. 9 miles.
Innsbruck traffic, easy, Voucher Mike overhead at Wick.
It's a great time for a delivery, isn't it? I'll tell the dog to tell the guy that we're just committing to a circling approach. ETU's going off. he will keep going.
Innsbruck traffic, Speedbird 8,000 feet, intercepting RNAV Zulu 26.
Yes, we know.
5 Juliet Mike on Lock DME 26.
254, let's arm that now. Approach mode's dropped off.
Innsbruck traffic, Skyway 909, radio check.
Readability 5.
Copy, will be quick. Innsbruck traffic, Skyway 909, stand 6.
5.6.
To Edinburgh, mission start, we'll call 1 for taxi.
3.5 coming up. Get the engineers to check that PTU when we land.
above.
Hello. Hello. I am in. I'll come get it in a second.
Minimum.
Yeah. Hello. Yep. Bye.
Traffic service 909 connection.
He hasn't got a clue what's going on in the background.
Until traffic has landed as you'll need
2:30.
via that taxiway.
Look at that. The VNAV is so good that we can even contact Amazon. Okay, there's the slopes. Ski ramp. That's a bit of a reference point. We're looking for, in the valley here, the power lines that take us off towards Axum Church, which is there.
160 knots, EAC 505.
Speed better, we'll just do some crisscrosses and we'll slow down to
Crisscrosses.
final minimum approach speed, speed better.
I mean, there's some fairly expensive stuff left outside my door at the moment, so that's a little bit nerve-wracking. (264) Innsbruck traffic, Skyways 908, downwind circling approach, runway 08, Innsbruck traffic. (9,500) set for the missed approach. Now we go gear down.
500.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Yep.
Too low, terrain.
That one.
Too low, terrain.
Just cut the system. We'll turn it all off. Okay, here we go. There's the church, right on the nose. So actually, we probably correct and come left 260 degrees. Got the warning of terrain off. Gears down, 3 green.
500.
All flat. VNAV has made it effortless Jurassic. It's so good. Okay. Autopilot off. My controls. Let's do this, guys. There's the church. Track FPA on. In for the right turn. Innsbruck traffic, Skyways 908, finals 08. Innsbruck traffic.
500.
What's your now rate of descent?
Skyways 909 here, be aware. 3 A320s have been on finals for 26 at the moment.
That's not ideal.
Definitely not. You've got easy 5 Juliet Mike, British Airways 0 and British Airways 550.
Roger, looking.
Landing 08, circuit to land, so we won't be going to 26.
500.
Seabirds are heading 230 and 5,000 feet, final 08.
Here we go. I think that was the nicest one I've ever done. We might be conflicting with people. Who knows? But I have called up throughout. I reckon we can come up a little bit on the nose. Here we go. That's looking quite nice actually. Let's leave that in the centre of the screen as we make a descent in. ECAM is no blue.
5 Juliet Mike on downwind for circuit to land 08.
Here we go.
500.
Look at this. Beautiful. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Can't see the pappies.
400.
There's the warehouse.
300.
I haven't got a clue what the pappies are saying, it's just white. but I can see the textures of the runway slightly. I trust they're at a suitable level.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Whoa. Little bounce. That got me there. We got it though. The heck? That house. Oh my god. Not my smoothest touchdown.
Looks okay according to the VATSIM lag. Everything 909, stand 6, push it up.
Lovely stuff. There's one on downwind. Innsbruck traffic, skies 908. Runway vacated. AP's already on bleed. Jolly good. And I'm going to try and park up real quick. I'll get the camera sort of set up to try and spot whoever that is on finals. And I'll dump this next to the fuel truck so I'm not in the way of the Skyways aircraft. Let's push him back. Nabil, I have, interestingly. It seems to be a consistent issue that I have though. There's me trying to get this done real quick, making a dash job of it. Okay, bar brake on.
Speedbirds are in extending downwind for the circle to land 08.
Here we go. That should be a good view.
KC 52 at my turning finals, right?
Not sure if we've lost one en route, to be honest. We've got him. Baxado, thanks. It was an interesting landing, actually, because we kind of bounced on a wheel. That's probably the most realistic feeling of a landing I've had in a long time. Innsbruck Challenge, Nabil, and the airport by Asobo had to delete it. So that's why I've got the Innsbruck Challenge still installed. Hence, does the new VNAV have TOPPA descent? It certainly does. 103 likes, guys. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
Carriage 909, taxi 2, hold short, runway 08.
There's an Aeroflot.
Watch out for my landing gear on the runway. He's a chance 5, with Mike.
No problem.
I still, I mean, still don't understand why that's happened. That's bizarre. Here comes Wesley. He's in a heavy.
Innsbruck traffic is 52 by runway vacated.
Jurassic, I know I've contacted the Austrian police to impound the Aeroflot A321 here at Innsbruck so it can't depart. Breaching sanctions. Not a real pilot, hello. So, I realised today I only had a VMR file in place for Osprey Airways, but also AIG, and neither of them had FlyUK in it, so I quickly scrambled to get something in so it wasn't an Asobo blob. Information alpha, yeah. Gravity fed sewage system. Wash, smack down.
Thanks for great content, always learning something new.
But they're going around long landing.
Oh, and a tail strike. Sam, thank you very much for your super chat. Great content, always learning something new. It's great to hear. Thanks for being part of the channel. Wesley's off back to Rottenburg.
Airbus on the ground at Innsbruck, but push and start without calling. You're going to taxi.
Who have we got on downwind or anything? Oh, we've got somebody in the valley doing the RNAV. Oh my god, how fast is he flying in? F-16 inbound. Yeah, great tail strike, Wesley. Oh my god, is it what? Where's he going? This is like a Buzz the Tower moment. Austrian Airlines. Oh. Here we go. Gunning run. Dagger, dagger, dagger. Austrian 786. Whoa. Oh, the runway's there. Austrian Air Force intercepting the Aeroflot.
Easy 5020, establish localizer 26 for circle to land.
Oh. Here he comes.
Innsbruck traffic, Airways 5563 is breaking away for the circle to land. Runway 08.
Oh, it looks like he's stabilised now. That is the wildest approach in. Wow, Jay, check you out. Landed safely, minus 78 foot per minute. That's incredible. They'll be out of sick bags on that flight. But he's recovered that into a very nice touchdown.
Speedbirds are turning finals for runway 08, cycle to land.
Innsbruck traffic, beware, there's an Airbus taxiing about on the ground here, not communicating, he's just entering the runway at the moment. Airways 909 holding short, 08.
David, as long as it's the Lufthansa group, that's all good. Here comes Wesley in his A350. Wesley's going to get the rage if this Aeroflot doesn't go. He's holding short though. You see, hello, worst landing ever. Couldn't see the runway. Was that you? I enjoyed it. It's great fun. Combat landing, yes. What do we reckon? Is there going to be another tail strike go around from Wesley?
EG5020, turning for circle to land, runway 08.
This is great. We've literally filled Innsbruck up. Tony, yeah, it has to be manually flown. I have done a tutorial video on it though, if you do want to give it a go, though it is for the... Oh! Smackdown! Hulk Hogan, or whatever his name is from WWE, is going to give you a call in a minute, Wesley, see if you want to sign up. There we go. I think I've done a tutorial for this in the CRJ as well, I can't quite remember. Who else have we got? We've got somebody near final approach. Yes, there he is. It's an Osprey. So that there, that late downwind is basically final approach on this.
It was actually really smooth, not a smackdown.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
I can send a screenshot later.
Still peeling your tyres off the runway.
This guy's still there. Generic pilot's getting triggered. Where's the guy gone over here? There's the Osprey, just about over the church. Let's see. There we go. Skyways 5563. It's Philip.
Innsbruck traffic, Skyways 5563 is standing base. Runway 08.
Oh dear. I can see his nav lights. VATSIM velocity doesn't hide anything. This is going to be hell of a tight squeeze. Oh, that's got to be a max toga, immediate takeoff, get up, get out. See, now if I was Philip, I'd just ignore the aeroflot there and I'd just continue. God, they're both very tight together, aren't they? That. He's done it. Start whistling the Top Gun theme tune. He's off. Look at that, it's just about worked out there, look. Expect late landing clearance indeed, David. Innsbruck never gets boring, does it? It's such a fantastic airport to fly into in the flight sim. That's a beautiful touchdown.
Innsbruck traffic, EC520 on close final runway 08.
He's down. Beautiful Osprey A320, though he is a FlyUK aircraft. That reminds me, actually. I'm showing post-flight taxi still on Skytrack, so I'll have to shut down.
Innsbruck traffic, Skyways 556.
Interestingly, Easy hasn't... that EasyJet hasn't appeared properly today. And it's an AIG aircraft, so I don't know why it's not. Perhaps that's a model that's broken. Oh, that looked remarkably smooth. Fantastic. Quick scan about. Try and check for UFOs and others flying in.
Skyways 909, backtrack runway 08, we'll call before takeoff.
Right, I need to turn those off to stop Skytrack recording the flight. There we go, post flight on blocks. Lovely stuff. Now I'm back in date with FlyUK. The way that's pilot report goes. We've got one more departure ahead of us. He's on a backtrack. We'll try and catch his takeoff.
Skyways 909, taking off runway 08, and for traffic.
Spectacular Osprey livery there. I love our channel livery, it's fantastic. Off he goes. Oh, he's quick. Away he goes. Not a real pilot. Hey, I did it in the livery as well. Used the call sign. Did all the good things. Jurassic, yeah, pretty much. Just quickly fly out of Innsbruck, do a flight to Edinburgh. Ah, oh, damn it. There's 30 people flying in. Cheetah has arrived as well. Fantastic. There we go. Loads of us. Always a remarkably fun approach to do here. Oh, Cheetah Pal, that's very good. I was nearer to 300, I think. Whoops. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it today. I'm going to be hard at work now the rest of the afternoon, starting a video for the preview of the upcoming Just Flight 146 Professional coming end of April for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It looks spectacular. Had a little flight earlier to have a little go to see what I thought. But now I'm going to put it to the test properly and aim to record something to show you guys in a preview. That will go live by the weekend coming. Thanks to everybody who flew along. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much to all our controllers through the beginning of the flight today and into Amsterdam radar. And all of you guys, wherever you are in the world, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Very warm welcome to all of our new subscribers throughout today's live stream as well. Welcome to the channel, and thanks to Nabil and Sam for dropping 2 generous super chats from you guys. Thanks for supporting the stream with those. There might be a stream tomorrow. There might not be. It depends if I can get all the work I need to get done sorted out soon. Keep an eye on the channel though. If there will be, it will be scheduled so you guys can see that there is a stream coming up tomorrow. But if not, no worries. There will likely be a video over the next few days anyway to enjoy. So hit subscribe, and if you want to keep up to date with any new videos and upcoming live streams, press the little notification bell as well. David wants me to get on that 146 stuff right now. Roger, I will do so, and I hope to see you all very soon. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Thanks to our frequent flyers and also our bronze, silver and gold frequent flyer members for supporting the channel with your memberships as well. Really appreciate all of your ongoing support, folks. Hit like before you head off, and I'll see you soon. Enjoy the rest of the day. Take care. Thanks for watching.